Hello, this is Transformers fan G138, and I'm here with a video review of Transformers Generations The Thrilling 30 Orion Pax figure. And let me just say, I really like this figure. It's awesome, it's good, it's got a decent transformation, it's simple and complex, it fits together nice. I have a couple of tiny issues with it. Other than that, it's an excellent figure. I'm glad to actually have an actual Orion Pax figure. And I will say this one looks pretty spot on with the original TV episode. This guy, I mean, not exact, but, you know, close. And of course, with this wave of Generations figures, they come with IDW Spotlight Comics. Here's the Orion Pax cover. This cover is a Hasbro exclusive cover. This is the backing on the package. So what you're seeing now is what you see on the package. For the exception of Transformers Generations right above it. So this is actually used as the backing of the package, which is cool. I can't show you the inside for reasons that YouTube, you know, whatever. But basically, as a pack-in comic, the story pretty much is of the IDW-verse Orion Pax, and if you followed that, it doesn't match the G1 continuity at all. I mean, he was a data clerk at one point, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this in the cartoon, he was a dock worker, pretty much. But yeah, effectively, he's not. He's more along the lines of a young Optimus Prime rather than a desk worker. You know, heroic police officer kind of thing. The story is because in the comic books, he looks like his future self. Optimus Prime, Orion Pax, that is. The reason they came up with an excuse why he looks more like the G1 in this comic, he body swapped, which is a common thing in the IDW verse, so it's not like a stretch. Basically, they threw him in a new body so he can disguise himself from the Decepticons when he goes to make this deal. Turns out that deal's a whole hoax just to get near Alpha Trion. But that's that. So, back to the figure. Yeah, the comic's not bad if you follow the IDW universe. I think they might have tried too much. Force fit to the Hasbro design, but anyway, whatever. I did think the ending was quite hilarious, but I won't spoil that for you. So yeah. Effectively, this guy drives really well. As far as low-hanging pieces, he does have a little bit. Really, it depends. There's certain parts that just move around. They're not really pegged in, per se. They're kind of just sitting there. But overall, this guy rolls nicely. And this black thing on the top, it's not a rub sign. I checked. But at a quick glance, it kind of gives the resemblance of that being on top of Optimus Prime. You know, it's just, I don't know if that was intentional or accidental, but it looks good, in my opinion. So, yeah, you will notice that these pieces are a different color. I don't know why, but it clearly feels like a different type of plastic. I'm not sure if that needed to be stronger or what, and the color just happened to not come out perfect. Another thing you'll notice is, if I can pull off these weapons, he's got a very G1-esque Optimus Prime gun, Ion Blaster, and a Energon Axe, which is always neat. But one thing you'll notice about this guy is he's got a tremendous amount of paint on him. I mean, this whole section of red here, that's all paint. This bumper, all paint. Silver, all paint. Yellow lights, all paint. This whole side panel here, this red side panel, that's all paint. That's blue underneath. See it right there, it's blue. This whole thing is paint. It's insane how much paint is on this guy. And then, of course, all that in there, all inside the window, that's under there, that's all silver paint. Again, painted. Wheel rims are actually painted for a change. I'm like, this guy is heavily on the paint. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's great. However, I know it's not going to last. Also, one thing, his bio on the back of the box, I don't have it with me, but the bio on the back of the box does not even say this guy will become Optimus Prime at all. You know, like they would normally. They would normally drop that name just to get more people to buy the toy. But they didn't. They said, before the burden of leadership. If you know who Orion Pax is, that's excellent. You know that. But if you didn't, if you're a kid getting this, you think it might look like Prime, you open up the comic book, it doesn't even remotely tell you about he's going to be Prime or anything. It's kind of ridiculous. But I'm surprised Hasbro didn't take that advertising thing. Anyway, awesome little vehicle. It's got these like jet wing things. I don't know. It's a Cybertronian truck, essentially. And it reminds me of his dockwork vehicle, which was actually quite similar. So, the transformation. I mean, there's no other way to store the weapons on here other than the side pegs here and here. And I guess I can talk about this real quick now. This whole black peg, this is all one piece. This whole black piece, that's nothing but paint. This whole thing is actually transparent orange. That's the whole black on that is paint. This one is definitely dark gray, light black, painted, or not unpainted, just molded plastic. You can see the hollowness in there too, but it's not bad because it actually looks pretty solid this way. So set those aside for now, and we can get into some transformation here, which is nice. So we'll start by pulling the bumper up and unpegging these and just bringing them around. So that pretty much is going to be his legs and his forms. Also, while we're here, I've never seen this much unused space on a Transformer before, in recent days at least. I haven't seen that much wasted space recently. But, granted, that's just in vehicle form, and it quickly goes away as you transform this. So, eventually these will be the fronts of his legs. So, we'll pull these down. We'll unpeg the arms from the back of the legs, bring these down, and then we'll pull out the feet from down here. These are on a hinge, and then below the hinge we're on a ball and socket joint. We want to turn these around. That ball and socket joint is actually very tight, which I'm impressed. And then these kind of compress down over the top of the leg and locks into the side of the leg. And the other side does the same thing. And the front bumper becomes his knee guards there. Next, we'll just spin these around for now. Next, we'll just move these out of the way. Grab these wheels. This kind of has to be done at the same time. Grab the wheels, pull them back here as you move the chest plate forward. And you can flip up his head at this point by just pressing this, and then that locks into place. That is very, very hard to take down, as is unsnapping his upper body from the rest of the torso when transforming. It feels like you're going to break it before it actually goes, but that is what it is. It's a nice secure fit. I haven't broke it yet, which is nice. So once that goes on, now of course it's going to be contradictory. So that snaps down, and there we go. Now it's snapped down. And now you have most of the legs and, well, the legs and most of the upper body here. I'm trying to figure something out here. Why can't I get him to stand straight? Oh. Ball and socket joint feet aren't quite lined up. There we go. So, at this point, let me readjust the camera so we can do the upper body here. These hinges just come forward, and there's a little slot here and a tab here, and that just tabs into the side. Not strongly, but enough to know where it goes. And you pull the arm down, spin, and there's this little tab in here that flops out the hand. Same on this side. Now we'll notice he's actually, for once, got these arrows, G1-esque arrows, on his forearms. Dead giveaway that this should be Optimus Prime, right? Yeah. Awesome. Then he's got these things here, which, surprisingly, just slide off. So if you don't want those there, they don't have to be there. You can take them right off. I tend to leave them on so I know where they are, because I actually like this figure with or without these. It does not bother me one way or the other. I don't know if I can remember how these went on. Be a little more beneficial there, because I have a feeling they would slide on either arm. And of course, there we go. So they kind of just slide on, which is cool. So if you don't like them, you can remove them. But they're not that intrusive at all. I love the clear chest plate. That is awesome. With the Autobot logo and the silver detailing in there. The lights. The only thing I really don't like about the figure, and I honestly don't notice it that much. I mean, I only noticed it because I put my hand here to move the head. This plate that comes up behind his head. Not there in the comic book. Fair enough. Could they have added an extra hinge in there so this could fold down? Yeah. Did they? No. Why not? Does it really matter? I don't mind it. I know some people will moan and groan about that, but what can you do? It's a decent figure otherwise. Now, I did say I had a couple concerns about this guy. And honestly, they're not bad. The only couple concerns I have are in the amount of paint on him. I feel like if it falls off a shelf or gets dinged up against something, I'm going to chip the paint on his legs or somewhere important that's going to be very noticeable. And my other concern, I honestly don't recall it at the moment, but if I do, I'll talk about that again. Oh, maybe I already did with the, yeah, I think that was it, the plate. But other than that, I say this guy is a fantastic figure. Highly recommend to get it. And before I go any further with this, I'm going to do some articulation talk here, because I hate that, but I do. So he's got that hinge here, as well as the ball and socket joint, so you got some great range in the foot. It doesn't have a lot of side-to-side motion, even with the ball and socket joint there. I was a little, about that, but it's okay. It still stands up. His legs has a 90-degree joint. His knee pads move a little bit, but that's not bad. You got a swivel in the hip. That's my other concern. When I'm transforming them back into vehicle mode or just playing around with the legs, these tend to pop off. I mean, they're secure otherwise. I mean, they're going to hold up the leg, but it just feels, it's just easy to pop off. He does have a swivel there, although be it hard to move. He's got a ball and socket hip there, as you just saw. He's actually got, due to transformation, but he does have a waist swivel, which is always nice. His head is on a ball and socket joint, so you can look up, down, whatever. Put this guy in some really awesome poses. You know, and then his accessories, of course, are very Optimus Prime-esque. Not that this guy actually needs to have them, because let's face it, he's a dock worker. But if you want to recreate a scene out of the comic book, no problems at all. Also in articulation, you have movement in here just because of transformation. Hinge here, all the way around. You have a hinge in here, a swivel here. This one is a bit looser, but it's still sturdy. You got a ratchet, a loose ratchet elbow joint. I think I would prefer a smooth friction joint, but that's just me. And then this actually was surprising. He actually has a swivel in the hand, and the hand turns in like this. I mean, how often do you actually see that? I mean, the only other figure I know that has that is Springer and Sandstorm. Consider those one because of the mold, but yeah, it's insane. I love it. Which, I love when they do swivels like that, because then he's got room to do some cool poses with either swords or other melee weapons. I love it. So, overall, I think this guy is a fantastic representation of Orion Pax, albeit the comic book and the weapons, but it works. And his bio on the box is more G1-esque than the comic book. I will say that it almost contradicts the comic book, because it says nothing about action. And just as we're wrapping this up, I have one more thing to share, and that would be a not even comparison, but a size comparison, not even comparison, as a, what is it? Basically this is Dion, and that's Orion Pax. Orion Pax was bigger originally, but let's be honest, Hotshot seems like a smaller deluxe anyway. The Generations Universe Hotshot mold, as it is based off, which shows you how small Orion Pax is. And, you know, a really great comparison would be FOC Prime, which I unfortunately do not have transformed at the moment, but I do have FOC Magnus. And so we'll do a quick size comparison with these molds. These molds match in size. Pocket Prime size, Orion Pax. It's okay to me. I think it's fine. Orion Pax, in my opinion, should be slightly smaller than Prime. Optimus, that is. And of course, my Dion's covered in dust. I don't have an air filter system yet. So yeah, you got the dynamic duo here. And then, of course, pull these guys forward. Pull the camera a little further back, if I can get it. Sorry about the jitteriness there. I have their future incarnations. Handy. Optimus Prime, and of course Ultra Magnus. Now, this dives into the controversy of, is Dion actually Ultra Magnus or not? IDW-verse? No. Confirmed. Not. Dreamwave-verse? It's hinted at heavily, because Magnus led a Team Dion or something. I forget what it was called exactly. I'm sure somebody will correct me. And then even in the TCC comics, we're not sure if it was this guy that was saved or Magnum. Albeit Magnum looks a lot more like Magnus. But I'm thinking, I prefer it be Dion, personally. Is there anything else? I mean, this shows you the size comparisons with the Classics Prime, at least, here. He's significantly shorter. I mean, should this guy be a little bit bigger? Maybe. Maybe not. I think he's fine the way he is. I got a Classics Orion Pax, and I'm going to display him next to my Dion Club exclusive. Because, come on. That's just the way I think. And I'll probably display both of them with my custom Alpha Trion. Why? Because I have an Alpha Trion, and I can. So that's that. I think that covers the review. highly recommend this figure. I love the Generations line, and this is a great addition. If you have any questions about him, please post a comment down below, and I'll be glad to answer it right away. I mean, I'm going to be touch and go here on the internet for the next 2 weeks, but I can't do more videos, but I can definitely respond via text stuff. If there's, again, any questions, please post a comment, and I will answer those. If, you know, they pretty much covered everything, I think. If I missed anything, let me know. And I think that's it. Again, highly recommend this figure. And the rest of the wave, actually, including Bumblebee, which I don't normally recommend Bumblebees, just because there's so many of them. But, yeah. See you in the next review. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.